Oh, so it was like the Cactus Jack barbed wire bat to the back type thing.
Yeah, he literally Cope or Edge literally suplexed him on it, and then it
Cope.
was stuck in his back. Look at this. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can let me see if I can rethink it. Hold on. There you go.
Why would he take that? Like, why?
Not that one. Not that one. Hold up.
Like, why would he take that as a human being at this stage?
Suplex?
Oh.
Yeah, yep.
No, that's just
tetanus shots. That.
Like, why? Like, why?
Yep, that's what they did tonight.
See, good show, right?
I mean, everything else that happened after that was just pretty much just a shit ton of run-ins.
Jesus Christ! What I mean, again, it's not that I'm against AEW. They just haven't given me anything to cheer for. That's all. That's all.
You know, it's funny. I watched this spot right now, and now I think about last week's show, and I thought, like, yeah, there ain't no way Dan's getting interested in this again. Like, if you're trying to get Daniel as a fan back, I mean, that's not the way to go. Doing that.
The last time I cared was probably Sting, like his little run there, like probably Sting, and then it's like, okay, Mercedes went there, okay, I checked that out. Will Ospreay went there, I checked that out. Okada went in there, I checked that out, and then all of a sudden they're just like. They're like background noise to me.
I will say they did do Okada right. I won't deny that.
Oh, time out. Wait a minute. You say they've done Okada right since he's been there?
I think so.
No, I think his presentation should have been 100 times better.
Him teaming with the Young Bucks, like I get it from the point where they were like EVPs or whatever the hell they were. I get it from that standpoint of bringing talent in and stuff like that. Like, hey, we can rig the system and bring everybody to work for us. But then it's just like they didn't really magnify him. I feel like he's just another guy, despite him having all this star power. But I feel like he's just another guy that can wrestle really, really good. And he's just in the background for AEW.
And he just
he's not going to be cutting giant, great promos.
I don't want the promos. I don't care for the promos. I at least want to see him wrestle and be in like bomb ass matches. He's in a couple. He needs to drop the title. He needs to drop that title and start going in the main event picture. That's what he needs to start doing.
And see, that's the thing though. Like his matches in AEW, they haven't been nowhere near the quality of what he's done in New Japan. And I don't know if that's just more of him kind of like easing back now, like because he's older and
I think it's that.
Getting paid more to do less.
That's not what it is. That paycheck is there. He's like, I only have to do what?
He doesn't have to do the new. Why would he still do the? Why would he
Kevin Nash?
It's
the Kevin Nash Scott Hall effect.
Basically,
I don't have to go kill my back anymore. Okay.
I mean, come on now. Why would he still do the New Japan style when he could come do AEW style?
AEW style? Is that what you were going to
say? I mean, come on. How long are matches usually in New Japan? They were way longer and more hard hitting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just expecting.
The man's not in his 20s. Why the hell would he go out? Like you just said, why would I go out and kill my back when I can have safer spots? And because honestly, the only thing I don't know. The only thing I don't like is the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker is not a finisher for him. Like it's to me, like the way he presented is just not like. I don't know. He could have a more devastating finisher, I think, but that's a signature thing, I guess. Maybe if it was just like a rollout like clothesline. It's like it's not even like anything like crazy.
It's not the buckshot lariat.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not a buckshot, basically.
Yeah, it's not that, or the clothesline from hell is just a regular
basic
clothesline.
I love the clothesline from hell. That's one of my favorite ever moves.
Yes, every single time they show like a little compilation of Bradshaw just clothesline people, I share it.
Splitting them in half.
I just share it because it's just prime Bradshaw just killing people, killing dudes left and right.
Yep.
Shit. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We're gonna be talking about John Cena in a minute, so I'm about to start the show.
John Cena.
John Cena. John Cena. All right, I'm about to start off.
There, heel Dan has heel Cena.
Should we join forces and I already told you I joined The Rock. I've joined Team Hollywood. I've sold out.
Wow, so you're gonna start the rundown now.
I've sold out. All right.
Oh my God! So close! He kicked out! He kicked out! He kicked out!
Loyalty, respect, a legend. We never kill him. Coming in the loyalty, respect.
Hello, welcome to Ring Takes episode 97 with Brian and Lewis. I'm Daniel. This is episode 97. John Cena, the heel. It's here, people. 20 years in the making. We finally have heel John Cena again. What do you guys make of John Cena's first words since his actions at the Elimination Chamber there a couple weeks ago in Brussels in Raw? What do you guys make of John Cena's debut as a heel?
You can go ahead first on this one, Lewis.
It's like I don't even know. For once I'm at a loss for words because it's like I think I'm on both sides of it. There's things I like and there's things I don't like. But I think overall I like the direction it's going. I like it makes sense, I guess, for better, making a better point across. It's like, it makes sense, Could have been done maybe in a better way. I don't know. But, John Cena is always a great promo. But a lot of what he's saying is justified in the sense that, hey, you asked for my perspective.
I'm letting you go. I'm just giving my reaction.
The man has put in a phenomenal body of work. 25 years. Phenomenal. Now, let's look at that entire run. And he even touched upon it. It's like, you guys hated me when I came in. I switched up. You started to like me. And then, boom. That was great. But then what happens? I win. And then you still hate me. Now, mind you, yes, there are other factors to that. Booking, the whole Super Cena. I was definitely one of those people that hated seeing John Cena win all the time. He was always the one when they needed somebody to win, they will slap the title on him and you're like, hey, here we go. But in perspective to what he was saying, he was always been the guy. And who's to say, obviously he understands it the most. How long has it been this whole let's go Cena, John Cena sucks? And I feel like there were many times where the crowd was always against him. And maybe once he, Hollywood started happening, maybe he got some of those fans back. But still, everybody still viewed him as the poster boy, the one who has to do whatever we want and blah, 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 blah. So a lot of what he was saying does make sense. I think the only thing I really didn't like is the top.
Him pointing out the little kid in the front row that had his T-shirt and memorabilia on.
No, that was great. That was tremendous. That was perfect. I'm actually glad he did that. I'll get into it.
Exactly. Well, I don't know why in this day and age when it comes to referring to things now, it's like if something is not toxic or something about relationships, that stuff's always thrown out. And that's probably the only thing that I didn't like. I'm like, you could have said this any other way. That was probably the only thing. He's like, this is an abusive, toxic relationship. I'm like, you didn't have to go relationship. I get, yes, you have a relationship with the crowd, but it was just like in reference to like this day and age, how everybody uses toxic so much or whatever. But
yeah.
That's probably the only thing I don't like. But the clear message is like, I've sacrificed my body for you guys, and it's never been enough. It's never been good enough. No one ever really cares about how I feel, what I'm actually dealing with, and all you guys care about is what you're going to get out of me. What are you going to get out of me? And that makes a lot of sense because he has given his, similar to The Undertaker, he's given his career, his body, his mental, everything to the crowd. And how often is it never enough? At least from his perspective, you can say. You're always going to have people who hate him. You're going to have people, the kids who love him because he's the Super Cena. But a lot of people are always against John Cena. So that's where I'm at. But I can tell Dan doesn't agree. He's whining. He's crying.
Before Daniel goes on one of his rants, so two things that I enjoyed about the promo was one. I know I mentioned it last week about him, cutting this promo in front of an international audience, which, by the way, the crowd was on fire. That Brussels crowd was tremendous.
As most international crowds are.
Yeah.
They were locked in for that.
You had that fear because crowds are so rowdy that like they would like drown out his promo that he wouldn't have been able to like.
They almost did.
And there were a couple of times where they did drown him out, but a lot of those times kind of like made the promo even better because he kind of controlled the crowd at one time, kind of like using their chance to kind of like make his point. Like I think there was one instance where he said something and then they started the "Let's go Cena sucks" chants, and then he was just, you guys are making my point right now with these dual chants. So I love that aspect of it. Another aspect of it, Lewis just mentioned it, like his narrative when he said that when he turned heel. I mean, the fans were thinking more along the lines of what are we gonna get out of it? Like what kind of heel? What does a heel John Cena look like in this current iteration of him? And when we talked last week, even before that, when we after the Rumble, myself, others, sharing the clips of his interview with Chris Van Vliet on when he was going to turn heel initially back in 2012 with new music, new gear, and everything, and everybody was kind of hoping that the presentation of Cena was going to change, and he just came out flat out and said, "No, this is my song that you're hearing. These are my lyrics, so you're going to hear this song, and you're going to get the same outfit. You're going to get the same old." Which in a sense, seeing that he's this heel character, it makes sense. Like why would he give us something new? Think about it. If he had came out with new music and new gear, a lot of people kind of would be fixated on that. More so than whatever he's trying to say within the promo.
They'd be like Dan complaining, "Oh, what's this thing? Now they changed that." And
I'm about to complain about something, Lewis, in a minute. Don't worry.
Obviously, he's playing the whiny heel.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hoping that's an aspect that they're going to change, that they're going to ramp up as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania. Now I'm hoping that on next week, because they advertise him and Cody for next week again, I'm hoping he comes out, starts to cut a whiny promo, and then we get R-Truth to come out, and then he beats the living shit out of R-Truth. Now, if you really want him to kind of like shed the whininess and kind of like go and be a little bit more vicious at the same time, I think that's the way that you go. The way that you go about it in that instance. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the whininess, but I understand why they're kind of starting it out that way. I can only hope that as the weeks go on, that he ramps it up, because we're all kind of anticipating that he's going to win this. He's going to win the title. Mm-hmm. And my last point, which was an aspect I didn't like about it, if you noticed in his promo, he didn't really mention anything about giving his soul to The Rock. He didn't really mention that like The Rock. Now I'm assuming, and now if that's something that's going to be built upon, like I said previously, in the coming weeks, cool. I would have loved for him to like reference it just a little bit, because obviously Rock is a huge part of this, and that photo of them two along with Travis Scott, but the photo of those two was iconic. So you would want Cena to kind of like reference the Rock. But other than that, I mean, it was a very good promo. So go ahead, Dan. Let's hear it.
Was it a good promo? Was it?
Yes.
Let's get to the facts. This man waited, 25 years to finally be a Karen? 25 years to start whining at the establishment and the fans of what they took and give him away from him. First of all, what did he sign up for? To be a professional wrestler. A giving business where you give to the fans. You give to the business. That's what you're supposed to do. And at all the times when John Cena all the times when John Cena was supposed to turn heel, 2012, 2016, multiple times throughout his career where the fans hated him and booed him in 2009 when they were sick of him, booing him out of the arena, cheering for Randy Orton, booing him and Orton, having all those matches in 2009. All the countless times that they booed John Cena when he was fighting Kane, when he was preaching the hate bullshit, when he was fighting Bray Wyatt, when he should have been heel. All these situations where he should have turned heel. And now he's tired. Now? Now he's tired. At this time, at this point, now he's tired. Now he's crying. Are you kidding me?
But do you understand that you just proved this point? He just at a time where he's talking about
the only thing John Cena proved to me in that promo is that he's hard-headed. That he's stupid.
At a time when he literally said he announced his retirement, and what do people get? What are we gonna get out of it? What are we gonna like? That's what.
Wait a minute. Then why did he enter the Royal Rumble? What was he trying to get out of it? A title opportunity. He was trying to get the power and prestige, was he not? Why did he insert himself into the Elimination Chamber? Because he's trying to get something out of it. So go away then. Retire. Don't give us a year of this crap. Retire. If we're looking at things logically, go away.
So what would you have liked for a better heel reason then?
I would have just liked him to say, hey, it's about me now. It's about me now. It's not about you guys and the fans and stuff like that. Screw you guys. No. He whined and said, hey, you guys made me. No. Just say it's about me. It's about number 17. It's my time. It's always been my time. It's not Cody Rhodes' time. I'm going to destroy Cody Rhodes, and I'm going to go to WrestleMania and win the title. Keep it simple. I don't want all this other shit. I don't want all this whiny. That segment went on for half an hour.
Is that as it should have.
No, it shouldn't have.
No. That promo was the proper length. I don't care.
When we were going to get John Cena whining for 30 minutes, I would have rather something else. I would have rather him just come out and be like, and this is why me and The Rock are going to take things over. And I understand why they didn't do that. They're in an international space. You kind of want to give that to the American fans. I understand that from that standpoint. But ultimately, his promo is just like, that's not the way I wanted John Cena to come out. That's not how I wanted it. And would I have liked new music in a promo? I would have wanted John Cena in the suit and stuff like that. And maybe that's something that they're trickling down. They're going to play out over the next couple of weeks, kind of like laying his new music, laying his new look, him changing up. He's going to attack he's going to attack Cody Rhodes at some point again and change up his look, change up his style. Maybe we'll get that. Him beating up R-Truth, what is that going to give us? What Brian suggested.
What is it going to give you? It's going to give you a heel John Cena with a mean streak. It's going to give you everything that you don't want. John Cena, right? You don't want
number one,
John Cena heel. Let's get aggressive John Cena heel.
Number one, everybody beats up R-Truth, good or bad. It doesn't matter.
but you know R-Truth has a come on, like he has
history with John Cena. The kids love him. Everybody loves him. Cool, that's fine. Beat up Rey Mysterio.
No.
Beat up Penta.
No.
Beat up somebody of importance.
Why would you
beat up somebody of importance?
R-Truth has literally had this John Cena, my childhood hero gimmick for like 5 or 6 years right now.
Yep.
it's been a point in his matches where he does the whole.
Oh, I get it. I get it. He's gonna beat up R-Truth.
Yes,
because that's John Cena's way of beating up the kids. I got it. the exact kids, the same kids who never saw John Cena in his prime or any longevity of his career besides the last 4 or 5 years. Got it.
Maybe they all got the last little bit of the WWE.
I mean, trying to be sarcastic. That's exactly how it is.
They got the last little bit of the WWE network, and they watched every John Cena match.
Like people have their kids giving the middle finger to John Cena on screen and crying and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys weren't there.
I do wonder that, and I'm like, either these parents are doing a great job of introducing their kids to John Cena and who he was. That like, this is him. He's gonna be at this show. Let's get you all the merch. And they're like, yeah. And then they come up to this. Could you imagine that kid? Could you imagine he binged every John Cena match and then it's just like, what did I do?
I actually was going to be critical of that parent of that kid that John Cena called out, because at the end of the day, if you grew up with John Cena, you know he's a heel right now, but yet you still spent the money on the merchandise for the kid when he didn't even grow up with John Cena.
At least he's part of the show now, right?
He's forever ingrained in WWE lore as the kid that John Cena pointed out.
He's like the guy that goes like this when Undertaker lost us.
Yeah. Again, I did like the fact that John Cena's actually heel. I do like that aspect of it. So anything that we were getting from that standpoint, cool, understand that. I also thought this actually made it a lot easier to like Cody Rhodes in the situation in terms of people who are not kind of on his side as the clear babyface. It was clear that he was the babyface. And I really liked what Cody Rhodes came out and said, hey, if this is the John Cena that's going to show up at WrestleMania, you have no shot. Like, I love that standpoint from it.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like obviously Cody kind of got the upper hand with that promo, and I feel as though that line specifically is what's going to turn whiny John Cena into kind of a more aggressive John Cena moving forward. At least, that's so. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
I feel like this should turn up John Cena because it's like you guys love him now. This is who you guys love and want to give your energy to and your positivity to and all this other shit. Like, this is who you guys want to love. That's what he should be going more off of him, not, hey, I gave you guys everything and I'm whining and stuff like that. I don't want to see that. It's 25 years of John Cena. Like, I want to see him be a badass.
Plus, if John Cena is gonna beat somebody down, he has to make what Jade Cargill did to Naomi look like child's play, though. As a heel, doesn't necessarily have to be R-Truth. Like. I know you said Rey Mysterio. It has to be somebody where they have to be off TV for more like a month or so. Like that's how bad it has to be.
Where's Sami Zayn?
Too bad Triple H can't take bumps anymore. Because that would have been the perfect guy in this situation. For John Cena to attack.
No, you know what would be nice? Because I actually just saw his interview with Chris Van Vliet today. Bring Rob Van Dam back and have Cena beat the shit out of him. Yeah, this is what you get from years ago. Had that fucking crowd shitting on me and stuff.
Imagine
he goes up and beats up all the people that he beat.
Imagine he just takes out the Miz and the Miz becomes a babyface again.
Oh no, we don't need that. We don't.
No.
I mean, he would be a nice addition to Team Hollywood. He would be the comedy factor in that. So long-term booking. But in terms of this promo, hated it for John Cena. I like the fact that he's a heel. Loved it for Cody Rhodes, how he looked in it. But John Cena, it's like we could have. I don't know.
When he said he had to go away for surgery, they booed this man out the building. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
it's not enough for me.
When he had that lumpy ass elbow.
Wait a minute. Let's not act like John Cena wasn't benefiting from all that as well, too. He was booking himself to win. He wasn't getting anybody else over. He was getting his girlfriend matches and title matches and getting her in the ring. Let's not act like John Cena so clear cut.
But then he was also shaming her on Total Divas.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
See, as easy as it is to say that, like, obviously he's the top guy, obviously there's perks that come along with it. When I heard Undertaker come out and say that he has no pull backstage, that kind of made me think like, okay, Undertaker can't just snap his finger and make something happen, then maybe none of these guys have any pull. Like, so I don't necessarily believe that.
I doubt that. But either way, John Cena's a heel. We got it. We're on the road to WrestleMania with it. John Cena, please turn into a badass at some point. All right, let's keep moving on here. Rhea steals Bianca Belair's spot. We had a segment with the contract signing between Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Io saying, I'm not going to be disrespected as a champion. Bianca saying that she's here and that she's ready to become champion. And what do you know? The woman who lost her title a few weeks ago comes out and causes chaos. What do you guys make of Rhea Ripley interrupting this contract signing?
Okay, I just have one question, because obviously I've been on X, and a lot of fans like shitted all over this because they feel as though it's going to set like a bad precedent moving forward for other storylines, because realistically any superstar could just come out in a contract signing, beat the shit out of everybody, and just sign their name on the contract. So I have a question.
They should.
People are acting like this is the first time something like this has happened, but I could have sworn that, like, back when I hate to bring up this guy, but bring up Chris Benoit and Triple H when they were feuding and for the world title, and then Shawn Michaels got involved. Didn't Shawn Michaels do something similar? Or where like Stone Cold, when he was the sheriff on Raw, told him, you want to get in the title match, do something about it, and then he signed his name on the contract and then it became a triple threat. I could have sworn we've seen something like this before. So if we have seen it, so I don't understand what the whole what the discourse is if we've seen it before. But I can also understand that for like other storylines, whenever you do something like that, like it's very logical to take that idea and put it in anybody's storyline. Because like now anybody could just come out now during a contract signing, just beat the shit out of everybody and then sign the contract. Per Rhea Ripley, it's a legal document. My name is on it, so I'm in the match. But
with this whole thing, it should have been simple. Rhea comes in, gets in an argument with Bianca, and they all start fighting, and then she just demands Pierce to add her to the match. That's all it should have been. I didn't like the whole. I mean, it was fine in terms of like her just taking the contract. You could have just took it and be like, Pierce, add me to this match. Simple as that. But like the whole oh, well, I signed my name, so now I'm a part of it. Like, and
it should have been what should have happened is Rhea just keeps interrupting the contract signing, keeps beating up Io and Bianca, and then
she gets herself involved.
And then Bianca and Io be like, "Yeah, put her ass in the match. Since she wants to be in it, let's prove who's the best." And it should have just been as simple as that. It wasn't a bad segment, other than the table not breaking. But other than that, I just felt like it was good energy and stuff like that. But it's just like the way they're going about it is a little bit too much theater, where it should just be Rhea causing havoc until she's inserted into the match. It should be as simple as that. It should be as simple as that. It shouldn't even be a big form about it.
Thing, like all that shit.
Yeah, don't
attach to it.
Exactly, or at least you could have had Rhea come out right before Bianca Belair signed the contract. Like having both of them sign and then having Rhea come out afterwards and just add her name on it. Like technically, when they both signed, the contract was the match and the contract was official.
Yeah. Or she could have just stopped Bianca from
signing the contract.
Yeah, and put her name in. Like
put her name on it.
Pierce could have been like, "That's not for you to sign." It's just like, well, my name's on, Bianca's not in it. That probably would have made more sense.
And can we stop mushing Io Sky in the face, please? We know she's short. We know she's little in stature. Can we please stop mushing the champion?
With the woof.
Can we please stop mushing the champion? Like,
I know. Like I said, I know, and we talked about it and they solved that last week. So Io was definitely not going to be the third wheel here. But they are playing to the physical stature of all three of these women though, by doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how is EO going to even up the odds on that one? So we'll see what happens with that. But as of right now, it's Rhea Ripley versus EO Sky at WrestleMania. And let's see what. I hope Bianca doesn't go the whole.
Bianca did sign the contract. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She signed the contract. So the match was official, and then Rhea came out and they signed her name to it. So Bianca and EO is official. I think they've. I mean, didn't Adam Pearce and Rhea Ripley have a segment right after?
Yeah, where they started brawling again.
That segment was comical. I actually remember it now. Like my name's on it. Well, it's not legal. It's not legal. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I'm like,
and he was just like,
apparently nobody knows how legal documents work. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a ladder match.
Attorneys, they don't have any of that.
It's going to be a ladder match between Bianca and Rhea, and whoever grabs the contract goes on to WrestleMania.
Contract on a pole match.
WCW all over again.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving on. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns to be on SmackDown. First confrontation with all three of these guys potentially being in the ring. Seth Rollins came out and basically gave the lowdown that they're going to be on SmackDown, which the Brussels crowd didn't like. But what do you guys think we're going to get out of this anticipated 3-man power trip between these three guys meeting in the ring?
It's going to be a lot of star power, but again, this needs to be for something.
Scream it louder for the people in the back, Lewis. Scream it louder for the people. Scream it louder for the people in the back. Yes, please.
And this is my worry with I'm with Punk, Roman, and it's I get it. Yes, you guys are 3 powerhouses. Yes, there's reasons for you guys to be fighting each other and all these things, but it's is this really is it still going to hold up even though it's not for a title or anything? I guess. Because, is it just for stakes or bragging rights? That's not going to mean crap. If whoever wins,
I think the issue is
for whatever title, I hope that's what it is.
I hope this is not the issue that they're kind of running into is which title is going to be for, or I think that's the issue they're probably running into. But it should be a number 1 contenders match regardless. For a title opportunity.
Go ahead, Liz.
Sorry, is Roman's attached to SmackDown and Seth and Punk are on Raw, right?
Yes.
All right, so
well, the transfer window is open, so we don't know where anybody is right now.
It's been closed.
We got Gunther. We got Gunther on SmackDown. He wrestled on SmackDown last week.
It's the road to WrestleMania. They're just traveling wherever.
They were in Spain though, so they had to.
The transfer window is open.
Hey, it hasn't been announced. All right.
Like I said,
it hasn't been announced that it's closed, Lewis. It hasn't been announced.
Yes, it did. A while back, they said the transfer window was closed. At one point, they said it. I think it was before the Rumble. I think, right?
I believe so, but like I've said, man, I've always been an advocate of the brand split coming to an end after the Rumble, and then just having everybody show up on the show leading up to WrestleMania.
Basically,
it ended in February.
Yeah, but
as an aside, you got the facts right. Okay,
as an aside, it was nice to see Gunther on SmackDown. Though he did have a hell of a match with them. Axiom.
That's where he's going. That's where he's going after WrestleMania.
That crowd loved Axiom or A-Kid from Spain. So yeah, that was nice.
That was a good match, though.
It was. Really definitely was. But yeah, we're gonna get that little tidbit on SmackDown. Let's get into another bit of business here. Jey Uso squash match. The reports came out why this match was so short is because the segment with Cody Rhodes and John Cena went on for 30 minutes. So this is why we got this squash match. But what do you guys make of Jey Uso facing A-Town Down Under?
So this was just funny and bad because all I kept seeing was about this whole. Okay, so mind you, here's my perspective in terms that I honestly didn't really watch this segment because I I was just trying to, 3 hours of SmackDown has been pretty tough. So trying to get through all of it, I was like, I already know what's going to happen. He's going to fight Theory. Gunther's going to come out and attack, blah, blah, blah. But then all I see online is people arguing, going crazy over this damn spear, crossbody spear. And I'm like, what the hell happened? The entire internet is mad. But obviously, Brian could probably comment more on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just so sudden, and like there's so many layers to this as to why this was it was bad. It's just that, well, number one, first of all, Jey Uso has been under the limelight of not limelight, but been under so much criticism.
Microscope.
But yeah, that's the proper term. He's been under a microscope since winning the Royal Rumble. So it's to a point where, like, week after week, if he doesn't like improve or at least stay even killed, people are just gonna destroy him. They already felt like he shouldn't have won the Rumble. So, and he shouldn't be in this WrestleMania match. And when these moments like this happen, people always go back to him and say, like, see, he's not ready for the main event. And I'm like, look, I understand like timing and booking and everything as far as Netflix goes. I think I mentioned it in the chat earlier. They really need to like have an agreement with Netflix where, like, if on the fly the show needs to be longer, the WWE should be able to make that decision on the fly and then allow the show to be longer. Like, you're not on cable television anymore.
Yeah, that's my thing.
You're on a streaming service right now, and you're leaving 30 minutes at the end of every show for the last 2 months. So you should be able to be on the fly and be like, all right, look, we need the show to be like 15 minutes longer because we have to get this segment in. I'm pretty sure, like I said, that when the segment was booked, Jey Uso was supposed to be coming down through the crowd like he normally does. There was supposed to be a huge presentation and everything. They kind of had to rush everything because you notice when he came out for his entrance, he ran out like the Ultimate Warrior. He ran to the ring almost like okay, we gotta get this over with. And another part of it, the actual spear itself. I think the reason why people were crapping on it is because Michael Cole, because the way he did it, Michael Cole even called it a crossbody on the commentary. So I think that's why people got thrown.
He shouldn't be doing the spear.
And that's another aspect of it. How many people has he beaten with the spear?
His move is the splash. His move is the splash. That's what it's always been. It's in his family. It's always been the splash.
Yeah, the Samoan is it.
You want to know what? If you want to really be different, do a headbutt. Do something different. I'm sorry, but I'm ready to pull the plug on this Jey Uso experiment. Since he's won the Rumble, it has not been good. It has not been good. It has not looked good. They haven't booked him correctly. It just hasn't been good. And I'm sorry. His moveset isn't changing. I'm afraid all WrestleMania is going to be is him kicking out in super kicks. I'm afraid of that. I don't want that.
Do you think Jey has fallen like victim to kind of like how it used to be with Roman with like, the 5 moves of doom? Like he's like, oh, here comes a super punch. Oh, here comes a drop kick. Oh, here comes a...
He's not even as physically imposing as Roman Reigns.
But I mean,
no, I get what you're saying, but at least Roman, there's a power aspect to it. The spear looks good.
Because I think for me going into Rumble, I was like, okay, I can see Jey winning this just because the momentum. Underdog, momentum and underdog, obviously facing Gunther and like having those opportunities and coming up short, but getting the winner at the Rumble, I'm like, okay, this will be his chance. I think you are right. I think, and how Brian said, like, people have been just shitting. And, like, I have friends, too, who have gone back into the product, and they're like, this Jey Uso thing is not working. He's not looking good. He's like, I don't think this is going to work out. And it's just like me and probably all of us, I mean, we've seen his growth and everything. I'm rooting for him because I'm like, I still feel like he deserves this moment. But at the same time, this run is not like it's not showcasing like why he's great.
It's not showing him in a positive light.
That's what.
It's not him and the Gunther
It's not joining
interactions are
favors
kind
right
of.
now.
I would rather him and Gunther just brawl for the next couple weeks. And I understand that they have him fighting A-Town Down Under, which is like that has nothing to do with Gunther at all. He should be battling Ludwig Kaiser.
That was basically it.
He should be battling Ludwig Kaiser, and Jey Uso should be teaming up with Penta to go after Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther at some point. That's what should be the line of booking in my eyes should be. Him fighting A-Town Down, who have nothing to do with, they don't have tag team titles. They have nothing to do with the main event picture. That's a misstep. that shouldn't be happening.
You just said the most common sense. You just made the most common sense booking decision right now with that tag team match with Jey Uso and Penta versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Why the fuck has that match not been booked yet? Like that's two separate feuds right now, and it makes sense. It's like, well, why has that not been booked yet?
Jey Uso, one of the guys with the most momentum on the roster. Penta with the new hot star with a lot of momentum. Ludwig Kaiser has been battling Penta week to week. Gunther has a problem with Jey Uso. Fuse the problems together.
Literally, that could have been your tag team match last week, leading into Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser this week.
It doesn't have to be complicated. And this is where I'm blaming the booking. Even though I like Jey Uso, I feel like the booking is letting him down. What does A-Town Down Under have to do with this?
They were just talking crap, and that's honestly
fine. That's fine. I understand that. That would have been fine after he won the Royal Rumble. And then he disposes of those guys. But it's like those guys haven't even been in the main event tag team scene. So how is this helping Jey Uso getting any better or any buzz or anything better? Like it's not. It's just giving him somebody to work with. And it's like, how is that helping his push here? And I don't want especially after the year Jey Uso has had, the break off from the bloodline, I don't want his momentum to be stopped with bad booking. That's late with lazy booking. I do not want that to happen. That should not be happening at this point, especially heading into WrestleMania and this guy's fighting for a title. Regardless of whatever you think about him after the fact, if you don't think he's in the main event, if you don't think he's going to be in these title matches going forward, the booking up until WrestleMania should be he's in that picture. I always go back to Triple H and Booker T when everybody thought Booker T was going to win because of the booking and how it was going that led to it. Don't get lazy because you don't think Jey Uso is going to win. Like I don't want that to happen. So they still got a couple weeks to turn it around. Hopefully they do it. Let's keep moving on here. American Made takes a hit to Dakota Kai and LWO. Ivy now losing to Dakota Kai and the LWO defeating American Made. What do you guys make of this? Especially a week after Chad Gable debuts the Luchador mask. Why is that? Why are they taking
that's not Chad Gable. Come on now.
Yeah, Daniel, that's not Chad Gable.
Like Corey said,
can
Chad Gable
the guy in the mask
himself? Can he clone himself? No, he can't.
Exactly. Yeah, we saw the guy getting carried out by security last week with Chad Gable.
Terrible security. Terrible.
Yeah, you understand. You guys understand it, but I'm just like, why are they taking L's in any capacity?
Yeah, I don't even get again, this is what I'm saying. What is this? Like what is the goal? And I don't know. I don't see what this is gonna lead to. This group should be kicking ass and winning gold right now.
Plain and simple. And especially what we've seen from NXT.
I don't know if Ivy now is on the level to win a title yet. Maybe at some point she will, but definitely the Creed brothers should be tag team champions right now.
Mm-hmm.
They should be.
Yeah, they should.
This is a heel.
My hope is maybe they'll maybe that'll be the WrestleMania moment. Maybe they'll get the titles there, but they are the one tag team on Raw that they should have. Like, what are I don't even know what other tag teams are on Raw right now.
See, and that's my problem right there. And when you see how SmackDown has looked with their tag team division, like there's five legit tag teams. You know who they are, and you had the Street Profits come out on top last week. But there's five legit tag teams. They've all been booked consistently every single week. That promo package that they did with Nick Aldis in front of the whiteboard, kind of going through like, okay, this team did this, this team did that, and it's just like all that build. It's just like, why aren't we getting that on the red brand? And you have falling over there for it.
I mean, they don't have the extra 30 minutes, Brian.
Again, you're on Netflix. Like, you could have those extra 30 minutes, if you really needed them. So it's like you have the time, you have the talent.
Just do it.
But I guess you also gotta wonder. I mean, I guess maybe to play devil's advocate, I mean, like, what other tag teams are there on Raw?
You got the War Raiders.
Yeah, and then you got LWO, Judgment Day, but
Creed
like,
Brothers.
Creed Brothers.
The New Day, yes.
The
New Day.
But this is the thing, like, with New Day, LWO, Judgment Day, they all have not been focusing on the tag titles at all. And I think that's the big thing. They're all in these little mini.
If JD McDonough doesn't tear his lungs apart.
But my whole thing is, was the New Day even featured on Raw this past Monday? I don't even think they
the previous week they were.
They were, yeah. They attacked Ray and Dragon Lee. Or was it just Ray?
Yeah, wasn't that a couple of weeks ago though? Because I know Ray and Dragon Lee, they came out this week.
That was the debut of the Masked Luchador.
Yeah, that was good. My whole thing. I see. I'm so discombobulated. I just lost my train of thought.
Bottom line, we all just want the right booking for guys if they're going to be featured on TV. The Creed Brothers should be in tag team championship pursuit at least.
Okay. I remember what I was going to say. It was about the New Day. It's like, when the comments tell you right now that the New Day should be like the number one tag team contenders right now for the Viking Raiders, with the Viking Raiders being like this top babyface team. Like, this heel run with the New Day, like, they need the tag team titles. Like, they have to be the tag team that's kind of like leading the charge and have these other teams chase them.
But they haven't even been highlighted. They haven't been highlighted at all. And it's like, ever since this whole thing with B, they're just heels. And
you want to know what they need?
They've been going after LWO with no intention of actually going after tag team gold.
You want to know what they need? They need
Odyssey Jones.
They need a valet. They need someone to help them cheat to get over the top.
Who?
Who can help
Teddy Long?
Let me tell you something, player.
The Undertaker.
It's gotta be somebody where as soon as you see them, it's just like, oh, what the fuck?
It's gotta be somebody. There's gotta be somebody like Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. It's gotta be somebody like a Jada Parker. It's gotta be somebody in that capacity that can help them. Shit, because it's just like if they're going to be in this veteran role and being bad guys, and I agree with Brian, they should be holding the tag team titles and cheating every week to retain the titles and figuring out new ways. I'm fine with that, but they need something different and new for that team.
Because I feel like this whole thing with Big E was kind of
misused, wasted. Yeah,
it was a big moment. It's shocked they had all this heat, and now it's just like, we're fighting Ray
just to have a moment, just so you can say, okay, they're heels now because look who they just insulted. That's literally what it was for. I mean, they haven't really referenced Big E on the like the kickoff shows or anything that he's done where they haven't really like referenced it. Man, I'm always gonna say this when it comes to Big E. Damn you, Rich Holland. I know it was an accident, but damn, man. I know it was an accident, but shit, we miss Big E.
Because I always wanted a Big E heel turn. I always wanted that, but I didn't get it. I don't know, man. It's just like there's enough time on professional wrestling to focus. And maybe again, they're on the road. Maybe things are different. New Netflix hours, whatever, cool, whatever. But it's like, if you're gonna put these guys on TV, at least keep it right. Like we're in a different time period where you guys can keep it right.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that whole international crowd or anything. They can still have a great show. The international crowds actually add to the brilliance of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to me that's not an excuse. You have the time. Again, it's Netflix. You have the time. If you want to, you can tell them.
Like, what's the cap?
You need all 3 hours this week. Like,
that's why I'm confused. That's why I'm confused. We got like 10-hour boxing matches from Logan Paul and Mike Tyson of, you know what I mean? Like, of showing their boxing, like
with shitty reception.
So it's like I don't know why it's such a difficult task to.
I mean, it could also be agreed upon. Like, all right, this show will be this long, and.
But what else is blocking?
Make it longer, we got to charge you more or something. Who knows?
I'm just like, what else are you going up against?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing I'll be struggling with. Like, yo, it's a streaming app. Like, you don't have to worry about the news coming on at 10:30 or another show coming on right after you. Like, it's a streaming app. You control the time. So I don't understand why. Like time shouldn't even be a factor in their booking. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Is somebody going to miss a Kevin Hart movie on there? Like, I don't. I don't know.
But we do give Netflix credit though. I do love the fact that like if you do jump in the show in the middle of the show, you can just rewind, go all the way back, and they don't go through the commercials too when you do that, which is perfect. So
when are they going to go back to 3 hours? I'm assuming after WrestleMania.
I mean, it's funny. You know, we complained about we complained of the longest time back in the day about Raw being 3 hours and how it needs to be 2 hours. And now that they got the talent and the booking behind them now you want the show to be longer. So
hey, we need those extra 30 minutes. We need that extra hour.
That's 2 more matches right there. 2 more season time.
We could get some more time there. But let's get into some other notes here. We talked about the Street Profits winning the tag team titles for the first time in 4 years.
That's crazy.
Travesty has been that long. When they said that stat, I was like, "Time out! It's been that long? That's fucking ridiculous." And you guys never thought to break them up?
When SummerSlam was in Tennessee, and I was like, they should have won it there, or that should have been a Montez heel turn because they just been losing. They didn't do it. So to finally see them turn around, have this little mean streak in them, actually get the tag team titles, especially when I feel like SmackDown definitely needs it, that's a welcome sight. So I'm good with that. We talked about Gunther and Axiom in Spain. Hell of a match. Good showing for Axiom. He's from Spain. NXT tag team with Nathan Frazier. So to get that. Fraxium to get that out of him and get that good match. Gunther can have a match with anybody. I'm convinced at this point. NXT Roadblock. You guys wanted to talk about that? It was a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I got to catch up on it.
Last week.
Oh yeah, it was last week.
Last week's show. I mean,
we touched on it.
To be at the theater at Madison Square Garden. I mean, this show was just top notch. From the first match. I mean, to have the Hardy Boys back in the WWE now with the TNA tag team titles. I mean, the atmosphere for that match was just tremendous, and it's amazing that, you know, funny the one team that's still in our tag team GOAT bracket that we still have yet to complete. It's still going strong.
Bracket thou shall not be named.
Next year.
It's just amazing. But not only that match, obviously the match I felt stole the show was Moose and Obafemi. That match. I mean, Daniel. When you
I was worried about the TNA NXT crossover. Like, what's going to happen? How is this going to work?
Oh, I think it's great.
But it seems like it's working.
It's working because they're actually acting the way you're supposed to act in a partnership. Like both sides are supposed to take L's, both sides are supposed to take W's, and they book the show perfectly. Have your tag team champions from one company come out on top, then have your world champion from the other company come out on top. Everybody wins. Everybody gets their fair shine. And Moose had a great showing, him being the X Division champion going after the NXT title. And then on TNA show, I think Cora Jade went after their women's title and came up short. But it's fair booking on both. It's fair booking on both sides, and it's working out for everybody. I just wish I had the time to actually watch TNA. That's all.
Yeah, because even that Moose Obafemi match was amazing. Like, I didn't realize how big Moose was compared to Obafemi. I'm like, yo, these guys are huge.
Yeah,
And,
Moose
like,
is big.
There was one spot where like Moose came out, or like he was on the outside of the ropes where he was like standing on the apron, and Obafemi just jumps up and smacks the hell out of his chest and drops him. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this man is fucking huge.
No, those guys, I gotta watch that match because those two guys are hard.
It was a great match and a lot of close finishes, close calls, and these guys are beasts. The Hardys, to this day, I don't know
how they're still going.
I don't know. You know, I can see how Jeff still goes. I don't know how Matt is walking anymore. This man is literally bow-legged.
That bionic man.
I don't get how he's still going, but you know, props to them. They actually did. I didn't think they were gonna do that well in this match because Fraxium is so high speed and their flips and all this stuff, but they actually did very well with them, and it was a great showing. That's why I was like, from beginning to end. And I love the Jordan Grace Roxanne Perez match. Mm-hmm. That was another hard hitting, and I think that was maybe Roxanne Perez's like send off because
it should be.
It was
that is official. So that match was her send off. She's on the main roster officially now.
Yeah. And then so I will say from the main event, which was Julia and Stephanie Baker. This was on like I haven't, like I said, I think I said previously in other episodes that I hadn't seen, you know, what was so special about Julia, but I feel like this match really highlighted her repertoire a bit. And maybe if it was more fast paced, kind of how like this match was, maybe she would have had a better showing. But Stephanie Baker is effortless in the ring, and she has it all. She has charisma, she has the look, she has presentation, everything. So I can understand why they had her win that, you know, because she's definitely one that's like a rocket to the moon right now. So
they've actually put the titles on both those women quite fast.
Yeah,
for being newcomers and stuff like that. That's the one thing I noticed. I know Roxanne Perez is on her way up. Just like Cora Jade that wasn't in that, and a couple other women that aren't in that picture that they put those two titles on.
Because as soon as they signed both of them, they made it a point to say, okay, we have the now it's official. We have the best women's division in the fucking country. So now, now the women's division is going to be our focal point with them two, and then they brought in Delta Zaria. She was supposed to be seen upon the same lines as Julia and Stephanie Baker. I know they have her in a tag team with Sol Ruka right now, where they're trying to bring out more of her personality instead of being this vicious beast of a woman. They're trying to I think they're trying to be more trying to bring out more character out of her. So that's definitely interesting. But NXT is they're firing on all cylinders right now. I think that they also announced on yesterday's episode that I think Stephanie is going to be defending both titles on next week's show. I think she's defending the NXT title against Jada Parker, and then she's defending the North American title against Fallon Henley. And one could surmise that she's probably definitely dropping the title to Fallon Henley, and she's going to keep the NXT title.
Zaria's down there.
They got a lot of talent down there. I told you that women's division is deep. Like it's crazy. Like I said, you can name like 10 or 12 women on their division right now, where it's like you could say like, okay, they would have success on the main roster. And the main roster women, I mean, there's still so much untapped potential. Like first name that comes to my mind is Zelina Vega. I know they've been kind of pushing, because I saw on SmackDown that she had a backstage promo with Chelsea Green, so that she's going after the Women's United States title. I'm like, thank God, finally, and I hope she wins it. I hope. I know that Chelsea's been doing well in this with this character, with the security and everything. She's been doing a hell of a job with it, but it's just like we want to see Zelina Vega at that next level now. It's time. It's been time.
As I said, especially for the women's match on the women's roster on SmackDown, Zelina Vega, Michin, Chelsea Green, they should all just be battling each other throughout the summer. Like that's what that title should be about. That's what they should be made around. Like, and then create a star out of that. Chelsea Green's already over. Give Selena Vega that rub. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, and when we talk about, because we talked about this before, as far as like the women's mid-card title goes, you see Chelsea Green having all these title defenses. I think she defended the title on NXT last night against Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka, yep.
And you look at Lyra Valkyria, and then you're just like, well, Lyra is the better wrestler.
Yeah.
But because Chelsea is the better character, like you can see why they're kind of like pushing Chelsea more.
But that one they should be pushing both, in my opinion, because it's like, let that Lyra get over with her work rate in the ring. Like that should be it. Like
why are we not doing what we did with John Cena when he had the US title with Lyra? You could easily just have Lyra come out and just do an open challenge every week and just have her have great matches week after week and build the
have call ups from NXT.
Daniel, even better. Go down to NXT week after week and do the challenge there. You got at least 15 to 20 women that you could go up against. Like that would be perfect. You know, it's just something like very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But it's just like NXT's cooking. Trick Williams is kind of turning heel a little bit there. So I like that development there going on there. So
watch his backstage segment with Javon Evans. He's definitely a heel now. Tell Javon Evans like bro, you think we elect just because we both got dreads? Yeah, he said.
Wow.
To heel Trick Williams.
He's a heel now.
And I feel like a lot of this times, I don't feel like Trick Williams is the best in ring. His promos are more of his thing, and if he can turn heel, that's going to add to his character. I feel like a lot of people need to turn heel in order to get that edge to their character. So hopefully that's helping him. Hopefully we get that, and maybe we get a call up soon, and then he can team up with Carmelo Hayes again, and they can be a tag team. just pair it all together, guys. Come on, stop wasting time. But that'll do it for this episode of Ring Takes. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, people, always kick out on 2. Thank you guys. Until next time.